And
Good evening, everybody. This is your September 23rd, 2023 edition of The Garage Collision After Dark. Roll that intro.
Tell me what's my age. Tell me what's my occupation. Tell me what's my race. Tell me is it with inflation. Tell me what's my age. Tell me what's my race. Tell me all my sexual distaste. Tell me what you need. Tell me how you feel. Tell me all your information.
Well, howdy doody do, everybody. And what did we think about that new intro video? I hadn't seen that before.
Well, we've had it a few times before, but when you're hosting the show, you have our old ones. So
yeah, I've got this old, antiquated, like crappy video file that it doesn't even cover the entire screen whenever I run the show. But I am your host for the evening. You guys know the deal. I'm the effing expert, Mr. Isaacs.
And I am the patron saint of all of professional wrestling. I am the one they say is all gingered up and bubbly. I'm Canada Dry, damn it.
Oh, yeah. And you know we've got to have the Iron Man with us. You know the deal. I mean, he's everywhere. I'm pretty sure he brought my Domino's pizza to my door earlier. It's effing Golden Graham. Introduce yourself, sir.
Yes, I am the effing Golden Graham, and I promise you this show will be better than what Colorado did against Oregon today. And before we get started, yes, let's wish a very happy birthday to Mr. Canada Dry up here.
Yes, happy birthday, sir.
Thank you.
If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be doing this right now. So
he is the CEO of all effing wrestling.
Yes.
You know what? I am just what do you call it? I'm just a curator of all this.
Well, you're a damn good one.
I've just been entrusted with it, so we'll see how far we can take it. Right?
That is the plan.
The birthday man himself, at least for, well, it's 2 more hours here where Mr. Golden
I got a good few more hours. I'm on the West Coast.
Yeah, he's got some more time. He's got
West
some
Coast,
more time.
yo.
He's going to be bumping some Tupac over there.
Yeah.
Representing the West Side. Is there a Canadian equivalent of Tupac?
3-Pac.
3-Pac.
I was like, 2 pence Pac? No.
Oh, man. I don't
All right,
I
gentlemen.
don't.
Let's go ahead and get right underway here. I kind of missed the little opening promos that they always do. Was there anything of any significance that either one of you gentlemen wanted to address here?
Nope, they're just good as usual, setting up the show.
Yeah. So let's just go on into match 1. Darby Allin versus Christian Cage versus Luchasaurus in a triple threat match for the TNT Championship. And yeah, we kind of knew it was going to happen. At least I did. When I saw this was a triple threat match, I knew exactly what was going to happen. This was going to be a way to get it on Christian Cage without Luchasaurus having to turn on him. But, this was an interesting match. I mean, obviously it was playing the story of Darby having his back to the wall, I thought it was cool at the very beginning of the match. He chucked the powder in Luchasaurus's eye just to try to get an advantage.
I saw a meme. Pocket sand.
Yep.
And then did a tope suicida. Where's Excalibur when you need him? Directly on the Christian Cage to kind of get things going very quickly here in this opening contest. It was what it was. Obviously, Christian Cage ended up winning here. Golden Graham, what do you think of this opening match?
Oh yeah, this is a fun, fast-paced match I really enjoyed. I think everyone saw the ending coming from a mile away. I was kind of hoping we would get the turn tonight, honestly. Like after Luchasaurus sitting there holding his title for the first time since he won it, only to have it yanked out of his grasp like 90 seconds later. I was so hoping like we just would have seen the electric chair drop tonight, but it wasn't meant to be.
I did kind of think for a split second that they were going to do the Batista Randy Orton thing.
I've pitched that like a couple of times on here, on the Garage or just on Dynamite After Dark. Like I feel like that would be the best way to really cement the turn for Luchasaurus.
Some of the best ideas, especially in wrestling booking, come from men who converge in the garage on a Saturday night. Canada, what do you think of this opening match?
It was what it needed to be. It was fun. It was fast paced, and yeah, you needed the world against Darby in order to beat him because you can't beat Darby clean because that's just not what you do. I think that this was the start of the build-up. Because that's what's great about professional wrestling. Is not the immediate turn. I don't like the surprise turns. I like the when will he turn sort of thing. It's good to do that every once in a while, the instant turns.
Yeah.
But I really love the when will he turn? When will this happen? You know, you see it coming a mile away, but you don't know when it's coming. So,
yeah. I would agree with that for sure because, the immediate turn, it's great in short spurts here and there, but, the gradual turn keeps you
like,
on
for example, the
toes.
Sammy Guevara one was perfect.
Yeah, that was a good turn. I agree. And this is just a little production reminder here as well. I cannot show the comments, so if you want to show anybody in the chat, that'll have to come from your end. Happy birthday, Canada!
It's the whole country's birthday?
Yes.
Well, the thing is that I've got a secondary nickname all of a sudden because of Dollywood.
Just Canada.
I'm Canada now. That's my secondary nickname. I'm Canada.
So let me tell you,
Canada.
let me tell you this funny story here, right? So I have a bachelor's degree in history.
I did not know that, but that's pretty cool.
I do. Thank you for that. I have two bachelors, one in that and one in political science. But when I studied history at Eastern Kentucky University, and one of the assignments I had to do was I had to go through a bunch of telegrams between U.S. agents in Mexico and Washington, D.C. So these were the agents that were kind of they were investigating the Zimmerman telegram, that they intercepted from Germany that was trying to talk Mexico into invading the United States, which caused. Anyways, I don't want to go too far down the rabbit hole here, but I got very confused because one particular person always signed their documents Canada. And I went to the professor and I was like, what does Canada have to do with this? That was the agent's name, Agent Canada.
Oh, really?
Yes. So all these telegrams that I was looking up in the microfilm of the basement of the library were the handwritten notes of Agent Canada of the United States government. So there actually have been people named Canada.
Do we see a gimmick change? Agent Canada.
There you go. You could be Agent Canada. It could be like James Bond,
Yes,
but like
Agent
maybe you like it stirred, not shaken. So
yes, I'm the Canadian version of James Bond.
exactly.
Shaken up, stirred, eh?
All right, moving on.
the Office, Agent Skarn. I'd be a little bit of a him because he's a hockey player.
There you go. Agent Canada. All
Threat
right.
level midnight. Remember,
Match
I
number
had a bad take Cade believing that was a real movie, Threat Level Midnight. Watch this.
Cade, so gullible. No.
You're tricking these young kids, man. They haven't been alive enough to know.
I
what's
had
real.
Dallas. I had Dallas believing that the pyramid was a real device. He's like, I don't know. That sounds weird. Like, how do you use that? I'm like, oh, it's awesome. Just like.
It's like one of those smartphones you find on wish.com. It's like you could buy a fully functional Android smartphone for $5, and it looks like it's in the shape of a pyramid.
It always has a Kale look.
Ayaka look.
What's that? I don't know what that means.
I would assume that's in reference to Ayaka Sasaki, who is in the chat as well, saying that Dollywood looks like her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Really.
All right, guys, we got to go to match 2. We got RVD and Hook versus Daddy Magic and Cool Hand Angelo Parker with Anna Jay. I'll let Canada Dry give his thoughts first on this one. What did you think of this match?
This is a weird match to sport RVD. I think his first Collision match would be a singles thing, but put him with Hook against, without Jericho, these guys are floundering. They're lower card madness.
Yeah.
If I've ever seen it. They definitely need something to they don't even have a faction, but they're together.
Yeah, it's weird. I think Hager
doesn't even like his hat anymore, and
Hager doesn't help much. He's just there
I don't like this hat. It sucks. Jericho made me wear it.
That would be funny if
That's what he should do. Yeah.
He dragged the hat with him holding it and just, I hate this hat.
Golden Graham, what were your thoughts?
It was a fine match. It just felt like this was a way just to put the spotlight on Hook. But you can't help but think RVD has to feel old. He's literally wrestling with Taz's son. You've been in the business a while. Like they said on commentary, when you're wrestling with people you used to wrestle with, now their son is wrestling with you. That's crazy.
But I tell you what, though, for his age, RVD could still do some of the shit that he did.
He looked really good in the ring tonight.
Okay,
you're booking this match, guys. Who would have you put RVD against in a singles match if we booked it?
That is a good question. Would he be going over or would he be losing?
Is he winning or losing?
You're the booker. You decide.
I'd have him beat Big Bill.
You'd have him beat Big Bill?
See, I was thinking Powerhouse Hobbs. I was thinking if you could find some way for him to etch out a victory over Powerhouse Hobbs. I'd like to see that.
That's possible.
Yeah. What about you, Canada Dry? What would you have booked him in?
I'm booking him to lose to Brian Cage after a distraction from Prince Nana.
Okay. Maybe if
that gives RVD a bit of an out while getting Cage a win.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So I kind of wonder if this is just a one-time thing for RVD to be on Collision here, or if this is going to be
it doesn't make sense though. What's the point? You're like, here's some money, come on Collision. It's not a draw.
Yeah.
Well, they were in Michigan, in his hometown, in his home state.
That's
what they built it as. Like it was a hometown, like a homecoming match.
Yeah, he doesn't need to make the trip to Collision. He's just in.
But hey, I'm not going to complain about any excuse to play Pantera's Walk.
Absolutely.
Yes, that's what the major pay about is not what you're going to give RVD. It's
It's what you're going to pay the surviving two members of Pantera. Yeah. Well, anyways, RVD and Hook end up with the win here. I thought the match was all right. I mean, RVD is one of my favorite in-ring workers of all time. I mean, he just is. I love the guy. I love the fact that he could still do some of the shit that he used to do. Not as much, granted, but he can still do it. And he doesn't look like shit. He looks good for a man of his age. 100%. So I was happy with it. I was pretty satisfied. Moving on, the next thing we saw here was a goofy Dark Order promo. And, they've got kind of the
Look who we got. We got
darkness
Dave
thing.
Pemberton.
Yeah.
Marty,
Mr. Pemberton.
Marty.
Marty.
Riddle.
No, I don't think I don't think AEW's touching Riddle right now. I think he's a little too volatile.
Yeah.
Riddle is brittle.
He's got some stink on him, man. He does. And it's been kind
Real
of
quick, before we move
accumulating.
on to the next one, can you
Yeah,
put
go
up
ahead.
Ayaka's last comment? I can answer that for her real quick. So, Ayaka, we can either watch it through New Japan World or we have AXS TV, and they usually show matches.
Yeah.
For New Japan.
I'm actually a New Japan World subscriber.
I used to be. I haven't been. I stopped because,
I have
Yeah.
King Alex Haney's password,
All right.
and I've never used it.
I tell you what I
Don't
find.
tell him. Don't tell
Don't tell him it's a secret. Okay. Wink, wink.
him. As we stream to the public world.
Nobody will know. Nobody.
No.
Absolutely nobody will know. But
The
That's
secret
right,
is
I-
between us three.
Whenever I get a guest, I'll be like, listen, I have a question to ask you. It's just between us.
just between us, there's absolutely nobody else right here. It's just me and you. There's a computer monitor in between us, but that's it. Nothing else.
So it's going.
But yeah, I've had New Japan World for a couple of years. I like it. I find myself watching older, obscure stuff on there more so than anything recent. Like, like I dug up those random Owen Hart matches and send them to you. I don't know if you
Yes, I've
remember.
been meaning.
Yeah.
I've been meaning to watch that.
Yeah, so I mean, I'll just look up a random guy that I know worked in New Japan and watch some of his old matches. Like I'm just a weird nerd like that.
Now, if you want to learn to wrestle like Owen Hart in New Japan Wrestling, in WWE, in the Owen Hart tournament, you can join Fight the World Wrestling, FTW Pro Wrestling.com. And it's $250 a month. And you can learn to wrestle like Natalia Markova and Brian Idol. Two of the best in the business right now, and friends of the channel.
Yes, and they might even be able at some point, if you're enough of a prodigy in their school, you might get a chance to meet Billy Corgan.
Well, Natalia and Billy were at the wedding. Did you see that elegant picture of Natalia Markova in the red dress?
Yes, amazing. Yeah, so we had this weird Dark Order promo where they're kind of doing this comedy shtick, but they're trying to act like they're dark too. I don't know.
Not doing anything.
Yeah. Canada, did you like this or have any thoughts on it?
I don't mind it, but I want to see where it's going.
Yeah.
They got the win the other day, last time. So we'll see where it goes.
We'll see where it goes. Then we see a promo from the Kingdom, and I'm pretty sure Mike Bennett said something about punching wieners.
Yep.
Is this something that he started doing?
It's a low. It's what he calls his low blow. Yeah.
No.
I want him to drag out a big old smoky hot dog and just and break it. He could get it a gimmicked hot dog. Just
It would really put the icing on the cake. He should do that for his entrance when he's
that,
walking out.
or they should have the blow ups from the first All In, the penis druids.
Oh yes, with the good old banished Joey Ryan. Yeah.
Yep.
I remember that, and I believe that they have actually cut that from the DVD that is being sold of All In.
Probably.
Now,
They cut
I have a
Joey
question for you
Ryan's
guys.
entire
Dave,
match.
Dave Pemberton says that he joined the Dark Order. Did you guys fill out the email on the website and put your? Did you actually join the Dark Order?
No,
No.
but I
I
need
joined the
to.
Dark Order. I got to admit, I sent my email and I joined the Dark Order.
I didn't even know that was like a legit thing you could do.
Yeah, you feel like you're like join the Dark Order. You're supposed to give them your information. It was actually part of the gimmick.
Did you ever receive anything?
I received nothing, so my membership is void because they gave me nothing. So
You ended up on an
that's poor
AEW
cult
mailing
management.
list.
That is poor cult management. When you get that information, you cipher it, you suck it dry for all it's worth. If you're going to run a cult, that information is prime.
What if
I
you
mean,
started
you're not
getting
the only
like,
person who didn't get taken. Hangman Page applied and he didn't get accepted either.
Yes, and Brody Lee was pissed.
Yes, he was.
what if you started getting like unsolicited emails, like advertising like erotic fan fiction of like AEW? What if you started getting that as a result of giving them your email address?
I'd be like, okay, now you guys are doing your job. This is what I was expecting all along. So,
anyways, they cut a promo on the Best Friends. Talked about Neck Strong. This is what was it, Neck Awareness Month or some
Neck
shit
Awareness
like
Month, yep. Or
Get
Neck
this
Health,
comment
like
by
yes.
Noob.
Ew,
Ew,
he
he
punched
punched
people
people
below the
below the belt because Maria will be pissed. Also, after happened to Moxie on Wednesday, I don't want to see my belly pile drive anyone at all.
I mean,
Is that
That's
what
my
Noob sounds like?
That is what I think Noob sounds like.
Like,
The
here's my
only
thing.
pile driver that Mike Bennett needs to never do again is like on the apron when he almost paralyzed BJ Whitmer a few years back.
Yeah.
He
Like,
needs to
if-
not do that one ever
I mean,
again.
if we stopped doing moves in wrestling that could injure people, you wouldn't do anything. It would be the most boring wrestling in the world.
So
Injuries-
if you leave a comment here, I will do my impression of what I think you sound like.
Oh, geez, this could go. This,
I don't know if we should be doing that one.
this could potentially go south pretty quick, Mr. Dry.
Well, we're gonna find out.
I'm not going to elaborate any further on that, but
Hey, at least if we're going down, it's the owner that's taking it down, okay?
Also, I'm impressed that Aaron pulled off a Japanese accent in one episode.
oh god,
That's a zero. I want to be honest with you.
good job avoiding catastrophe there, Canada Dry.
I'm dumb, but I'm not that dumb.
We got match number 3, guys. Julia Hart with Brody King versus Kiera Hogan. Julia Hart comes out singing her song again, which is kind of interesting. I'm not really sure what's up with that. I love her look. She's fantastic.
Yes.
I love the fact that Brody King is like coming out in support of her. Like, not like he's mentoring her, but like he's serving her.
That was a zero.
I like that. I like that.
He's like her hype man is what he is.
Yeah, yeah. Like he's holding the rope for her and hyping her up on the microphone. But anyways, this was a complete one-sided domination meant to make Julia look strong. And Hart ends up getting a submission win. Canada Dry, what do you think?
Can I go first? Do you mind?
I don't mind at all. Go first.
Finally. This was talked about for a long time, this match. SummerSlam. It was supposed to go down. Hogan. Hart. It didn't happen. Yet Hogan and Hart here tonight.
Hey,
What happened?
and the right person
What was
won.
supposed to happen? Hogan tapped in the middle of the ring and passed the torch to Hart. It was
That
beautiful.
doesn't work for me, brother.
I gotta know. Who is Lex Luger in this equation, and who is Yokozuna?
They're not in it. they don't have any names. It's just Hart and Hogan. Did you watch? Just to rabbit trail here, side quest. Did you watch that ringside interview by Bret Hart recently that came out?
I saw a clip of it. Wasn't it you that posted it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And oh my goodness, Brett tells the whole story. It's stuff you didn't know about.
Yeah.
It's like they were good friends. And as soon as Brett got the belt, now they weren't friends anymore because Hogan's like, you got my belt.
Mr. Business.
Yeah. And so when Yokozuna beat Hogan at that WrestleMania, he told Brett, "Thank you. I'd be willing to do this for you as well." And Brett's like, "I'm going to hold you to that." And Hogan's telling Vince, if it's the SummerSlam match they got, that Brett's not on my level. We're not going to have this match.
Brett's not on my level.
He's not. I'm up here. He's down here. And he was like, and Vince is like, we're going to get this match to happen. Don't worry. Like, meanwhile, Brett is like seething, and he's like, I gotta confront Hogan. And Hogan's like, I didn't say that.
Of course.
Oh no, you're missing. I didn't say that. He's like, Brett's like, well, what did you say? And then so Vince is worried that Hogan's going to WCW.
Right.
So he goes, I'm kind of looking really bad in this situation. So he goes to Vince. He's like, we need to bring Brett in here and straighten this all out. And so Vince and him are all like, they get their story straight. And they're like, well, the reason why we didn't want to have that SummerSlam match is because it was a non-title match. And there was no point. And Brett's like, what? Why would we have a non-title match at SummerSlam?
Hogan is, oh man. Did either of you happen to catch either the whole episode or in part his podcast with Joe Rogan?
No.
Is this recent?
Yes.
I'm gonna have to check this out because I watched a different version where they're like Joe Rogan is like calling him a piece of shit kind of.
No, he actually did a full episode with Rogan about probably 3 weeks ago, maybe 2-3 weeks ago.
Okay, that's what the clip was based off of. All right.
Some of the lies and just misinformation that Hogan gives is just astronomical. Like, he talks about working with Brock when he returned from the UFC, which was in like 2011, 2012.
And then wasn't Hogan at TNA at this point?
Yeah. It's just some of the whoppers that comes out of this man's mouth. It's unbelievable. It's like, does he really believe this shit? Like, is his brain scrambled? Does he have CTE? Like, what is
Probably.
this?
I don't think his brain's scrambled. I think he just wants to get himself over still.
Yeah, I think he's just so carny and just so into that mentality that he embellishes every single detail just to make it a more interesting story. Like, that's my theory.
I'll tell you what I'm
like
going to do. Right after this, I'm going to watch. Is that on YouTube?
It is not, there's clips on YouTube, but the entire show's Rogan is exclusive to Spotify now.
So
but you can watch it for free. It's free.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to watch it on Spotify right after this podcast because I love soaking up those lies of Hulk Hogan and just like, did he just say that?
Oh, bro, there's some good ones. You're going to enjoy it. There's going to be a lot to chew on.
Joe,
trust me.
Golden Gun, you got to watch this so we can talk about this later.
Okay. So if I remember, yeah, we'll figure it.
You know, I think that would be an interesting idea for like an occasional pop-up show every now and then on this channel. Like when somebody appears on Rogan or something like that that's wrestling related, like we do a little miniature review of it, of just our thoughts.
Yes, you know what? Let's do that. Everyone watch the show, and sometime this week we'll get together and we'll do this thing.
Yeah, and it doesn't even have to be like a live thing. It could even just be like a recorded thing where we just talk about it for
yeah,
yeah,
for sure. Because then we can
like
edit
10, 15 minute video.
Yeah. Like, I mean, Rogan just had Kurt Angle on, He was literally just on the other day. So it's just kind of interesting to hear like big media figures that don't really know anything about wrestling talking to wrestlers. And it's interesting. It's a
Yeah, and like we
fascinating
can take some
dynamic.
notes about stuff we thought was funny. If like, did he say that?
Yeah. Just a thought, something we can look into. But moving on here, obviously Julia Hart won. Sky Blue came out for the save because she locked her submission back on Kiera Hogan again. Brody gets on the microphone, cutting a promo on behalf of Julia, calling out Statlander for the TBS championship for the pay-per-view next weekend. Yeah. So does anybody here think that Julia Hart has any chance in hell of going over on Chris Statlander?
No.
No.
But at least there's a story behind the match rather than just Statlander coming out and someone walking out and them having a match.
Agreed.
So I'm
Agreed.
fine with that.
That does make it better.
Yeah, Statlander is on such a roll right now.
Yeah.
Defeated Jay Cargill, defeated Britt Baker. Like, to me, this is Tony Khan's best booking of any female wrestler.
Oh,
today.
yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, I mean, she's hot right now. 100%. She's going to have this title for quite a while, assuming she stays healthy. That's the big if here.
Now, would you buy a world champion Statlander?
Yeah.
Right now or later
At
on?
this point, I would. Yeah.
Like, she lost the title tomorrow and she won the world. You wouldn't question it.
I wouldn't want to see her lose the title and then go and win the world title. I'd like to see her as the TBS champion challenge.
Oh, that would be gold. She has to surrender the TBS.
Yeah.
That would be gold. Yeah, I'd like that.
Kind of like the old cash in the X Division championship to be the TNA champion rule from back in the day.
Well, it reminds me of like the Goldberg win when he won the world title. He had to
He just
surrender it, and Bret Hart got his leftovers.
Match number 4, gentlemen. Andrade El Idolo versus Switchblade Jay White.
Now, let me say something here, Jeremy.
Mm-hmm.
Is Andrade supposed to be a face?
Yes.
Yes.
Are you buying him as a face? Because he's just...
Yeah, I mean,
could.
He's been booked as a face for a while now.
I think his problem is he doesn't cut promos.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Like, I don't feel him like as a fan favorite.
He doesn't look or feel like a baby face.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. He seems a lot more heelish.
Yeah.
But that's just because of his look and his demeanor. Like, he doesn't cut promos or anything because he knows very little English.
Yeah.
In fact, they said that when I heard Charlotte say that when they first started dating, they had to use Google Translate to talk to each other.
That's got to be romantic, eh?
Can you imagine
Especially
the dirty
because
talk?
Google Translate isn't very good.
Yeah, I could just imagine them trying to like dirty talk each other through Google Translate.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. That is the spot. Yes, like that.
No.
Especially if like some of the words get garbled and like the meaning is like, yeah, that's not very good. But anyways, this was a pretty solid match. I don't really have anything too much to say about it. Switchblade Jay White comes off with the victory. I love Switchblade Jay White, and Andrade, he's growing on me a lot too. I'm a fan of him and his work. Golden Graham, what do you think of this match?
I love this match. Like, the whole match is just telling me, I was like, Andrade needs his faction back, which I feel like this is where this has to be going. At some point, he's got to get somebody. Like,
He's feuding with every faction.
like, have him team up with the Lucha Brothers. That would really make Andrade look like a face, bringing in the Lucha Brothers. They already have their manager in what's his name. Like, I think it would work.
Yeah.
But the ring work, shocking. Andrade
Lucha Brothers, they're not a tag team anymore, though.
I mean,
They're still aligned.
They can be. They never really broke up. Yeah, this is what I like, though. I really enjoy when they just take tag wrestlers, let them go do their solo thing, and then they could just come back when they need. Like, they're going to be at Wrestle Dream. They're in a match. as a tag team. So
Yeah, which is cool. Ray Phoenix is the international champion.
Intended or unintended.
yeah, either way.
Canada, what'd you think of this match?
This was a really good match, and I love that they both played the knee spots up. Yeah, some good back and forth. I was curious how they were gonna get Jay White over in this match because it was so even paced,
Right.
and Jay White is a freaking star, and
Yeah.
I wonder how long before they put gold around his waist.
I could see him being the one to take the international title off Phoenix.
That would be a bad move. You let Phoenix go on a short run, and
Yep.
then
I like it. I think that's a good move. I'd like to
Like
see it.
this Jay White, his selling is like top notch too. Like him selling that knee, especially at the end for that Blade Runner, was just magnificent. Like there's really nothing you can complain about with Jay White.
No, I mean he's. I'm a fan of Jay White in every aspect. Like I think he's great, and I definitely want to see him get a proper singles championship run of some kind. And I want to see him eventually go for the big one. I want to see that eventually. He's good enough.
I think that's in the cards. It's got to be.
It's got to be. I agree with that. Let's move on here. There was a Santana and Ortiz promo. Now, I know that the internet spent a lot of time the past couple of weeks talking about how these two legitimately hate each other and that all the comments on social media were supposedly not in a worked manner. I think this disproves that.
and let me just say, I told you so. Thank you.
Well, see, I always thought it was a work too because I swear I remember hearing Conan on one of his podcasts say that they've started working things out. Like, I swear I heard him say that at some.
Yeah. They fixed it.
Yeah,
So that's why people are like, oh no, they're fighting again all of a sudden. No.
exactly. That they had issues with each other like a year and a half ago, and then now, it's like, all right, we're cool. Let's.
And they're like, why don't we work together and make something out of this? Like another bunch of people couldn't do.
oh, I know.
Well,
yeah.
there's some distinct differences between that
I know,
situation
I
and
know.
this situation. For one, Santana Ortiz actually had someone who was kind of level-headed in Conan to be the mediator, where there was no mediator between these other two parties.
Conan is like the godfather of like all the Mexican wrestlers,
Yes, he is.
or the Hispanic wrestlers.
I got nothing for you, can't refuse.
Like he's like the guy that like all the Latino wrestlers like look towards. Like he's got a relationship with like all of them.
But he's the reason why Phoenix is in the States.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole lot of luchadors that owe a huge debt of gratitude to Conan. That's for sure.
Yep.
Moving on
Say
here.
real quick too, Santana, like he is jacked now. Like
Yes.
that man is big.
He looks really good now. I've noticed that too. Yeah.
I missed the match on Rampage, so I'll have to check that one out as well.
It wasn't much. It was a glorified squish match, is what it was.
Of course, like I always do every week, I turn it on the Rampage, watch it for 15 minutes, and fall asleep.
Well,
I'll tell
especially
you
because
this.
this
Tell you
Rampage
this.
was 2 hours last night.
Yeah.
I did catch the end where Joe Graham.
I
Joe Graham came out.
I don't get it. We can have this talk right now because I don't understand why they won. And on top of that, once again, the ref doing a crap job because Cage's freaking shoulder was a foot off the mat.
Yeah,
His shoulders weren't even close to being flat on the mat.
I went on
And
a
I'll
little
tell
bit
you
of a
exactly
rant.
why the Bucks and Hangman won. I'll tell you exactly why. Because they're like, we're going to do you a favor, Tony Khan. We are going to get these belts over for you like only we can. That's totally what their thinking is.
I mean, to
Guaranteed.
be fair, Tony Khan really doesn't seem to care about tag titles or trios titles unless the elite are involved. So
Yeah, Brian Cage is freaking amazing, and you're you're making them lose to everyone.
I'd have Brian Cage come on to AEW and put him in the international scene or the TNT title scene.
Yeah.
So at this point, if Swerve does not win at Wrestle Dream, like the whole faction looks like a joke.
Yeah.
Like Hangman and the Bucks destroy the Mogul Embassy.
Yeah.
And if Swerve does not win that match.
Well, to be fair, other than it seems like Swerve, the Mogul Embassy is just there to serve Swerve. Like they don't care about anyone else, which is a shame.
Yeah, I know, but someone's got to pick up a W against these guys.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. Like that's why I thought, like when Swerve came out, I was like, oh, here it is. This has got to be where he costs Hangman and the Bucks the titles. But he just stood there like a goober.
Yeah. I was like, come on, you could have helped them.
Do
I wonder
something.
if the Bucks do the "that doesn't work for me, brother" routine backstage.
I would laugh if they did that. Oh my god.
Yeah, but I kind of went on a little semi rant this morning about AEW referees. They need to tighten that shit up. Like I don't know if they need Mike Chioda to come in or somebody to come in, some veteran to come in and like sit them down and be like, look, guys, you need to do a better job because you're kind of blowing a lot of stuff in these matches.
Yeah, it's not the
Okay, so
wrestler-
you get
it's not the
the
wrestler's fault,
one
it's the
from the
ref's
cage
fault.
match.
Yeah.
And then you had the Moxley one. What else was there?
I mean, there's been other things in the past I can't think of off
Yeah,
the top of my head. I mean, like, just loose, like not enforcing tag rules and just
Yeah.
the stuff that Jim Ross used to talk about, and people would get mad at him for pointing it out. Referee, got to control the damn match. What's going on here? It doesn't even tag.
But Aubrey's still pretty tight.
Yeah, they need to get like Rick Knox on that level too.
But the thing about Aubrey, she's a bit of a showboat out there.
She's too showy. Yeah, she draws too
Yeah,
much.
it's like you are the referee. You're not meant to.
And that was one of my criticisms earlier too. Is like, and particularly, she was the one I had in mind. She wants to assert herself as a character in the story all the time, and it's like, nah, that's not what you're there to do. Sorry. If that's what you want to do, you should be a wrestler or a manager.
I think, well, part of it is like a lot of these guys came from the indies. Like Rick Knox is an indie guy, and where they're more involved in matches, they are usually characters.
Yeah.
So.
And Rick Knox is the Bucks guy too. So, he just does whatever he wants to do because the Bucks do what they want to do in matches. So, we saw a Shane Taylor promo promoting Keith Lee versus Lee Moriarty.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
I'm really tired of seeing this story beat in AEW where I'm mad that you went to the WWE. Okay, so who cares? Like, so they're better than you. That's not a reason to feud anymore. Like, it's getting really old hearing the same reasons with this over and over and over again.
Wait, referring to Jade Cargill?
No. Like, it feels like there's been a lot of this, like, you left me here and you went onto the big
okay. You're
leagues.
talking about yeah, okay, I know what you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, let's have a little more creativity and why you're
I thought you were talking about the fans for a second, but you're talking about the promo.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the promo.
Yeah. I really couldn't care less about this match. Shane Taylor's promoting here. When is it even going to happen? Did they even say? Was it in the?
Yeah, it's just like we're building it up, and we'll figure out a time for you later. Baby.
Yeah, like I don't recall
Wrestle
it even
Dream
mentioning
0 hour.
0. That's kind of what I assumed too. It was going to be 0 hour of Wrestle Dream, but I don't. Is that even big enough for that? I don't know. Anyways, we got match number 5
next
here.
ROH pay-per-view?
Probably December.
Do they even have one planned yet? Between now and Final Battle?
Isn't Final Battle usually in December? I imagine that will be the next one.
Yeah, Final Battle's usually like what, right after Christmas or something? Yeah.
Right around, because that's what they did it last year. That's when they did Final Battle, and it was December 15th-ish. It's usually like right before Christmas.
Okay, I gotcha. Yeah, Final Battle's always traditionally been the end of year Ring of Honor event. My favorite of which was that one that had the ladder war match between Steen and Generico.
Oh, such a great match.
I have that one on DVD, and that is a great match. Have you seen that, Canada Dry?
I have not. I haven't caught a lot of the Ring of Honor.
Yeah. It was great.
Like,
You know, it was,
there hasn't been a bad ladder war match in ROH history. They're
Yeah.
all just bonkers.
well, I mean, even, Steen and Generico, Zayn and Owens for younger
They are
fans.
not the same.
So
They
we have a
are not.
question. We have a question here.
What is
So
it?
someone asked, what's your go-to music when you listen to music? Give me a song.
Pantera Walk.
Honestly, it depends on the mood I'm in. Because I listen to everything. I'm a
Yeah.
country guy. I'll listen to some 90s like R&B, or I'll put on some 80s or 70s rock. Like, it really just depends on the mood that I'm in.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I mean, I like a little bit of everything. I think that's
Give-
just kind
give
of
me a
our
little-
generation.
Give me a little bit of Judas.
A little bit of Judas. But I mean, I'll listen to 80s easy pop music and then listen to death metal 10 minutes later. So
Or
You should see some of the music list that YouTube has created for me.
oh
And
yeah.
Carry
some
On My
of them-
Wayward Son. That I like listening to that every once in a while. Like if the Young Bucks, give them credit. Like bringing that song back out for new generation is pretty cool.
I'm pretty sure that I listened to Cannibal Corpse and Betty Davis Eyes in the same hour.
Literally, I've gone from 70s just power ballads to Coheed and Cambria within 15 minutes. So,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So in the song Johnny Cash is singing, "You Go Down, Down, Down" in a burning ring of fire. Is
Mhm.
that like an antacid commercial waiting to happen?
my friends and I actually sang that as a collective in our advanced choir class in high school. So
Nice.
I actually performed that for classmates. Yeah. Great song. Great song. Easy to sing too.
you have,
I love some Johnny Cash.
you
got a
definitely have the
bass
voice to sing
voice.
Johnny Cash.
Yeah, you got a bassy voice like this. Johnny Cash is easy to sing because he's just
Yeah.
a basic crooner. It's not like any advanced notes or anything like that. So a lot of fun.
Or you could sing some Johnny Cash with a helium balloon.
We don't disrespect Johnny Cash like that, though.
Johnny's up there in heaven going, yeah.
That or he's gonna be like, wait till he gets up here.
He's like, I seen what you did.
I'm gonna show that Canadian son of a bitch some manners.
Johnny's like, Jesus, you sure this is one of yours?
Let's go to match number 5, gentlemen. The Workhorsemen versus FTR. Aussie Open is out on commentary, looking pretty dapper.
Yeah.
It was kind of interesting. This is a really good, hard-hitting match. I loved it. FTR's matches are always the highlight of the night for me most of the time. And they ended up winning with a sharpshooter. Can't complain about that. Canada Dry. Based on that, I have to start with you. What do you think of this match?
It seemed out of nowhere, though.
It did. Yeah.
Lead
I didn't
up
get
to
the significance of
sharpshooter.
it, but they did it.
They would get their ass kicked, and then he throws the sharpshooter on.
Yeah. The Workhorsemen got a lot of offense in this match, and they looked really good. They're good workers.
That's why they're the workhorsemen. But yeah, wasn't my favorite FTR match. I liked last week's better.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the ending. Just because you put a sharpshooter doesn't mean I'm gonna like it. You gotta just throw it on out of nowhere and get the win.
Listen, Canada Dry is not going to be impressed with a gratuitous sharpshooter finish.
That's right.
It's got to have some meaning behind it, damn it.
It's got to have sharpshooter action, like the T-shirt.
Like the t-shirt. Why don't we go ahead and plug the t-shirts? That's a perfect rollover.
Do we want to
Wanna
just
go
plug
ahead
the
and stick
shirts
that in
now?
there? Go ahead and stick it
Plug
in.
it now, and then we can end the
Yeah.
show later
Yeah.
without shirt plugging.
There you
This is
go.
the sharpshooter action shirt. All FM Wrestling Show. And this shirt is $21.99, and it has pro wrestling tees. I've got it on the way, so I should be able to get it maybe in time for next week's shows. So hopefully,
Excellent. It's a very good looking shirt. I plan on getting that shirt as well because I love it. And yeah, but anytime a sharpshooter finish comes up here, I figure that's a perfect segue to discuss the sharpshooter T-shirt at F and Wrestling.
now since they okayed us with the sharpshooter action shirt, we can go on creating all sorts of finisher T-shirts with the color. We can do DDT action and do it a green shirt.
Hey, why not? I mean,
We can
it's
put
just
some
the name
snakes
of the
in
move.
there.
It's
We're
the
not
name
saying
of the
Jake the
move and a
Snake.
color. I mean, you know. Now, I mean, you couldn't call it like Stone Cold Stunner or something, but DDT, sharpshooter, these are, generic terms.
No.
So it's in the public domain, gentlemen.
But everyone knows what a DDT is when you have a snake in the logo and you have action there, DDT action.
Hey,
in green.
maybe they used DDT back in the 70s when it was
Oh,
legal.
green and purple. That's what we do. there.
Snakes. Yeah. Anyways, where the hell was I? Oh, we were talking about the Workhorsemen versus FTR. Golden Graham, did you give your thoughts on the match?
We
I did
gave our
not.
thoughts.
I didn't.
Oh, you didn't.
No,
Go ahead.
Golden Graham did not give his thoughts.
But I mean, if you saw my comments last week about the FTR match, they're going to basically mirror the same. FTR quit giving 90% of the match and then winning out of nowhere. If
Yeah.
you're the greatest tag team in the world, I expect you to be a little more offensive and not just pulling a win out of nowhere. It feels very fluky, especially when you're just going up against these random ROH tag teams. Not that they're
This
bad.
right here. This right here. I'm giving you the badge of the night. I don't know what it is. It's a new thing. It's the badge of the night.
Good.
It's like something given on the Rick and the Morty show. You win the badge of the night.
It's
We
a
can call it the good
bowl
take
of
badge.
ramen noodles.
Yes, the good take badge of the night.
But other
Yeah,
than-
would you say you win a bowl of noodles?
It's a bowl of ramen noodles, uncooked.
I'll cook them. It's all good.
Oh, what we got to do is me and Joe Graham need to each buy a pack of Mr. Noodle and be like, look at you won. You're like, thank you.
Yeah, you hold it up, do like that, and then put your arm down, and then Joe Graham takes it from the screen. Oh yeah, thank you.
Right.
I
We have a
appreciate
magic
that.
portal under our desk that just
You're just sliding it across the table, and we're just talking on StreamYard for the hell of it because we're
And
dumb.
then you can be like, Mr. Isaac's like, can I have some? And then magically it's cooked already. And he's like, here. And you grab up some noodles. Oh, this is good.
I think you guys have been in my bourbon stash. I think that's what's going on here.
Little bit of bourbon.
I love me some bourbon, and it's the primary place where bourbon is made is right here in my city, so I love it.
nice.
We've got CJ backstage with Lexi Nair. Guys, Miro interrupts. They babble some nonsense about saving everyone and redeeming people, and I can't redeem people because I'm attracted to you. And what the hell is this?
So I'm gonna say I really enjoyed CJ's part in this. Like her
Yeah.
promo was really good. But
Yeah.
then once Rusev showed up, I'm like, eh.
Like, what the hell is this? Does this make sense to anybody?
Weird. It's so
Like-
weird. You know the problem with that's the problem with AEW. It's the problem with AEW is also the solution for AEW because you're letting these people come up with their own stories, but everything shouldn't get the big old all right, sounds good.
Yeah. Like, this is
But-
just a
but-
never-ending thing with Miro. I don't get this. I don't get where this is going. None of this makes any sense. None of this is entertaining. I just tune out every time one of these stupid promos pops up every week. Man.
How is Miro's wife not like being by his side not better for his character?
I
Like,
think
it
that's
helps
eventually
him.
I really think that's where it's gonna go. But who do you
I mean,
like?
it
My
has
question
to.
is, who do you think is going to be the first person she manages?
Big Bill.
I think it's going to be Hobbs.
A newly signed Dolph Ziggler.
in 3 months.
they're gonna go right back to that old gag.
Yes, that'd be
5
funny.
years ago.
That's why I would say go with Hobbs.
And Summer Rae shows up. What the fuck is Summer Rae doing here?
She wouldn't be Summer Rae though. She'd be Fall something or
She'd be Summer Beam.
Fall Cloud.
Should be Winter Ray. That's what it should
Do
be.
you remember the Body Donnas had Cloudy as their manager?
Yeah, cloudy instead of sunny. Yeah.
It was like
Yeah.
this nasty looking dude.
Ridiculous.
She's gonna be, instead of Summer Rae, she's gonna be Winter Lee. That's gonna be her name. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know what's going on here. I don't care what's going on here. This is god awful. Please do something else with Miro. Please. Just one fan to
Just take him
Another
back to
fan
when he
here.
won the TNT. Treat him like you did when he was the TNT champion.
yeah.
Everything's fine.
Yeah, no
doesn't
more
need
of the
the title.
scripted nonsense.
Just treat him like that.
Exactly. Yeah, nothing else really to say.
Why
here.
is he still saying game over when it's about the redeeming? Like nothing about that is part of his redeeming character. Game over.
What
Is he
would
gonna
you
go
change
back
his
to-
finisher to?
Bringing the arcades? Remember when he was bringing the
Redemption
arcades out to the
time.
ring?
Because he was Kip Sabian's best man,
Yeah.
and he was on Twitch at the time. So
Yeah.
He was
So
big
like you
in
got to be
Twitch.
like
yeah, he was.
something about redemption time. I don't know.
I'll just call it the redemption.
Yes,
Yeah.
but
I
he
don't
doesn't have
know
to
why
yell
he did.
anything.
I don't know why he quit doing Twitch. Like, he was pretty popular doing that. I don't know why he quit, but whatever.
It interfered with time with his god.
And his hot, flexible wife.
Yes.
Anyways, we are at match number 6, which is the main event. Ricky Starks versus Bryan Danielson in a Texas death match. Now, gentlemen, before we go any further discussing this,
Hey guys, just
either
want you
of
to know, Aaron isn't dumb at all.
did either of you know that a Texas death match was basically just a last man standing match?
Yes, because
did not.
that's how AEW's always done it. So
See, I just looked at this like it was a no disqualification match. I didn't realize it had the last man standing component to it. But like AEW always has to convolute all these match types by like giving them some name. Like, couldn't you just say it was a last man standing match? That's more straightforward.
So I wouldn't mind if they said this, but then before the match, here's the rules.
Yeah,
that's
Yeah.
fine too. Yeah.
exactly. Instead of having JR argue with Kevin Kelly about it.
Yeah, put the rules up. Even have one of the announcers list the rules, what they are. I'm like, okay, that makes sense.
He's got him in a submission. He tapped out. Well, there's no tap outs here. What do you
Nobody
mean
see,
they
he tapped out.
damn it? I saw a goddamn tap.
It's like Collision is slowly morphing into freaking 90s Raw commentary, and I absolutely hate it. I can't stand it.
It was a little rough. It was a little rough during this match, but
No, it's just the whole thing. Like, I hate Nigel. Like, I used to love him as a commentator. I can't stand him right now.
yeah, there's
We don't.
I
need-
would.
I
I
don't
prefer
need a
Rick
short
Abani.
commentator. What was that?
I prefer Rick Abani.
I do
Yes.
too. Like Kevin
I want
Kelly
the
is
Bone
very
Zone.
off his game.
Like I've sat here and watched old episodes of ROH where Ian Riccaboni is the sole commentator for an hour of ROH, and it's phenomenal.
Ian Riccaboni is awesome. I like
Yes.
him. Kevin Kelly is good, but I think he got so in the Japanese bubble doing New Japan commentary, which is just very straightforward and vanilla and like
Yeah.
not complex or convoluted with segments that come
You know
flying
what?
at all angles. It's a lot more simple to call.
I
mean, it
prefer
is.
that over what we're getting right now with this
Yeah.
bickering back and forth junk. I can't stand it.
But this very segmented, fast-paced American TV style of wrestling Kevin Kelly has not done for a very long time, and it's
Right.
apparent that he's pretty rusty doing it. Would you guys
Didn't
agree
he
with
just
that?
sign a
Yes.
contract with them?
Yeah, he just left New Japan, like officially.
No, he's
said-
leaving. It's in February of 24.
Yeah. I mean, he hasn't actually fulfilled his obligation yet, but he has given notice that he's not returning. So yeah, that's interesting. But I'm with you, Joe. I'm not digging the commentary too much on Collision here lately.
Yeah, because Nigel McGuinness on NXT UK was gold.
It was.
Like, go back to doing that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. The chemistry seems to be off. I don't know what's going on, but I have my notes here. Just like every week, JR's carted out the ringside for the main event. I still imagine that golf
We
cart.
still want
coming
that
out.
golf cart, guys. Get that golf cart.
The golf cart with the big ass cowboy hat sticking out the top. Yeah.
I imagine he has the golf cart and the horns that JBL had on his limo.
Yes.
With the little the bells going off like he's at the NASDAQ.
And you know what? You get what's her name? Who's the one that was with
Jillian Hall?
Jamie
Oh, yeah,
Hayter
Jillian
before.
Hall.
Jillian Hall?
Yeah.
No, Britt Baker. The one was with Britt Baker. Rebel.
Rebel.
Oh, Rebel.
Yeah, you get Rebel escorting him to the ring because he has a big crush on her.
Have you ever seen some of the tweets that JR likes?
No.
Like, does it ever show up? Like, if you look at Twitter, if you follow Jim Ross, you know how you can sometimes see, John Cena liked this tweet or something?
Yeah.
But it's always like some like obscene like porn picture, and it's like Jim Ross liked this.
He's like, I like that.
It's like, all right, someone's gonna have to sit JR down and explain to him how this works, because like people can see what he's liking.
I don't think he cares.
I don't think so either. Here's what I have in my notes too. Dasha, who was doing the ring announcing, goes running from the ring before they even move towards each other, which basically telegraphed that they were going to run at each other right before they did it. I don't know if either of you caught that. But this was a great match. This was brutal. This was back and forth. Danielson got juice. They brought out a chain. The aforementioned commentators argued over the rules of a Texas death match. I love the LaBelle lock reversal where he caught Starks running in and locked him in the LaBelle lock. Like, that was so fluid. I love the way Danielson works. It just looks like he never makes an error with things like that. Yeah. And of course, Danielson wins, as I'm sure everybody thought that he would. He's not going to take a loss going into this match with Zack Sabre Jr. Golden Graham, what do you think of the main event?
I thought it was great. I just have one little small nitpick, and when Ricky grabs the chair to go and hit Danielson's knee wrapped around the pole, he deliberately goes like 5 feet above the knee, like make it look real. Just other than that, like it's nice when they you actually have and AEW does this very well when it's a death match or a no rules false count anywhere, they actually leave ringside and go around the arena.
Yeah.
Whereas other promotions are like, oh, we stepped outside the ring, but let's get back in and finish. Like, it was nice to actually see them use the stipulation to its fullest.
And I'm sure that Ricky Starks appreciated having a full dumpster of legitimate garbage poured on him, because that looked pretty gross.
Yeah.
Canada, what'd you think of the main event?
This was a really good match. Wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. I don't know, maybe I'm just a little bit tired, but it's not what I was thinking it was going to be. It was good, but I was expecting it to be this, and it was this.
Well, it's because they just had a strap match like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think obviously the strap match was much better.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
And you don't have as much time to work with, right? So
That's it. But I'll tell you what, once again, this match did a phenomenal job of getting Ricky Starks over.
I agree.
His star just continues to go up, even without winning. Like,
Yeah, he could easily afford this loss and complain. I took Brian Danielson to the limit. I should have won. Blah blah blah.
Well,
There's-
he's got that excellent story too of I didn't give up, and when he stood over top of me, instead of cowering down, I spit blood back at him in defiance. It made him look strong.
yeah, because once again, he didn't tap out here. He just didn't make the 10 count.
Yeah, I like the ending quite a bit. I thought it did a lot for Ricky Starks.
I'm kind of upset that the cameras cut off when they did, because clearly they were building up to Starks going over to shake Danielson's hand.
Yeah.
And they just went to black. I'm like, why wouldn't you let us see that? You had already gone after 10 o'clock. You already said you secured the overage time.
The handshake doesn't make sense at this point, though.
Well,
I mean, it does if the rivalry's over and they can.
Yeah, if it's over, but
yeah.
yeah, and we get back to that. There should be no handshake. It doesn't need to happen all the time.
Right.
I don't know. I still think somewhere down the road, I think we get Ricky Starks joining the BCC in some way.
Not now. If you use the shirt to strangle the leader.
Not right now, but I bet later on down the road, I could see them doing it.
I don't
Maybe-
think he needs it.
I mean, he doesn't, but I think it would be fun. It would be interesting because everyone else seems to be in factions. Ricky's not going to do well being on his own in a company full of factions. It just doesn't work.
Ricky doesn't join factions. He starts them. Oh no,
No, he
that's
doesn't.
That's someone else.
How ridiculous did it look with Wheeler Yuta staring down Big Bill? Like, how ridiculous did that look?
I mean, but at the same time, you could just speak to that. That's the BCC way. That's the confidence that they've instilled in him that he can take on anybody.
Well, if he stands there and lets Claudio European uppercut him 15 times in a promo, I guess the guy's tough. I
Like
mean, what can you
Wednesday
say?
night, just out of nowhere.
Talk about Wheeler Yuta for a second here. Is he at this point? At some point he was here, and
Yeah.
now he's back down here.
It feels like they've deliberately pushed him back down, and I don't know
Yeah.
why.
Yeah, he was having a pretty good run there. When he was in the he was in the G1 in New Japan, and he was the Ring of Honor Pure champion and did pretty well with that. And like it seems like they were kind of building him as like this shooter, almost kind of like dare I say, kind of like a Dean Malenko kind of wrestler. Is kind of what they were booking him as.
Like here's my opinion, and I honestly think this is what this is. TK does not do well when it comes to things going awry, like chaos. Like he doesn't know how to pivot very well. And
I think that's pretty clear.
I think honestly, like that was him being pushed down was because he's like, oh, I need Mox and I need Danielson to step up. I think that's
Yeah, but why? Yeah, but there's no point for him not to keep rising his star.
kind of. But
Because,
TK
like,
just doesn't. TK just he needs help, I think, and he just
Because you're not only diminishing the star, you're diminishing the championship he just won.
yeah, I agree.
You know what Tony Khan needs? He needs an
Me.
enforcer. Like he needs somebody like Vince
Like Bale.
McMahon. Vince McMahon always had Gorilla Monsoon.
Hmm.
And Gorilla Monsoon was known to be kind of like Vince's enforcer. Like you didn't mess with Vince because Gorilla Monsoon would squash you. So much so that when Vince McMahon went and had a meeting with the NWA and he thought that someone there might legitimately try to kill him, he took Gorilla Monsoon with him for personal protection. Like Tony Khan needs somebody like that.
He needs his own
He-
personal gorilla.
Yeah, he needs a Gorilla Monsoon. Like that's a serious point. Like he needs a Gorilla Monsoon type.
You know who you get? You get the vanilla gorilla, Brian Cage.
Hey, I mean, he's jacked. He looks like a legitimate tough
I mean,
guy.
you either go the way of Brian Cage or you have to go the way of a respected, like old school big man. One of the two.
You could get Big Show in there. You bringing him to all the meetings?
Mark Henry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got Mark Henry and Paul White. I mean, come on.
Like both by your side wherever you go.
I mean,
Yeah.
to be fair, you could also just have Glock Anderson come with you and you're good. So,
Yeah. Like when Tony
It's the new
Khan
Mean
has a
Street
sit
Posse.
down, when he has a sit down with whoever is having a problem, with another wrestler, Tony Khan needs to be sitting at the table, and he needs to literally have like Paul White,
And
Mark Henry, and Arn Anderson at the table with him to talk to these guys and just kind of hash this out, because that's going to prevent these issues of like, I feared for my life. Like, if he had Paul White right there with him, like
He's like, I
stepping
felt
in the middle,
protected. I felt secure.
yeah, like he would have been like,
I know
look,
it's
my
messed up, but I
muscle
just
here is going to keep things in line.
like I don't know why I just imagine TK jumping up into Paul White's arms.
And Punk's like, oh, okay. No.
It's like on one of those old school cartoons where like the wife jumps in the arms of the husband because the little tiny mouse comes out of the hole.
Yes.
I was gonna say Ayaka here's trying to start a war there, Canada Dry.
Oh, you got to show that comment. We might be here another hour. Who's better, Owen Hart or Bret Hart?
Okay, so I would say the best storyteller in the history of wrestling is Bret Hart. Best technical wrestler is Bret Hart, but athletically, it's Owen Hart.
Yeah.
So they each got their own thing, but like
Owen to me is way more charismatic than Bret, in my opinion. So yeah, like I don't. That's not a fair comparison either.
Yeah.
no, they're both different personalities.
Owen had more of a, kind of flashy personality than
Yes,
Bret for sure. Yeah.
And that's a classic sign of the youngest.
Yeah.
Can you tell that I'm the youngest child?
I'm the youngest and oldest child. So I got
Yeah,
you beat.
so that's a tough one. You're a little bit of Bret and a little bit of Owen.
That's what that's only child syndrome.
Yeah.
For those of you out there that don't read between the lines. But yeah, I would agree with that assessment. I think that Bret was the better wrestler. Bret had more accomplishments, obviously. He was the better technician, the best in-ring storyteller of all time. I agree with you on that. And I do agree with you that Owen was more athletic. He could do the high spots better. And I agree with Joe Graham that Owen was more charismatic and had more personality than Bret. So I agree with both of you guys.
I mean, no one besides Owen could probably have pulled off being a white man in the Nation of Domination.
That was so random. Him being in
But
the
it
Nation.
worked so
It
well.
worked, though.
Like
It was
I
good.
loved it.
Well, he was the
like it.
co-leader, and then he slowly moved down the card as it's like, okay, you're not. Vince just kind of pushed him down.
Yeah. I liked him being in the Nation. I liked it. It was strange, but I liked it. All right, gentlemen. We are kind of at the capstone moment of the evening where we are going to do match of the night. And you know what? I'm going to make an executive decision here. We're not going to do segment of the night because there weren't any damn segments on this show.
Okay.
Yeah, there really wasn't.
There was like a couple of recorded promos that sucked. I'm sure as hell not going to say the Miro Redeemer one was the segment of the night.
You know what we didn't even talk about though was the announcement of the 6-man tag match.
Oh, well, go ahead and go over that because I kind of was mentally tuned out at that point.
Yeah, so Don Callis comes out with Sammy Guevara, who is the worst heel in the world. He's the reason why he became a heel. And his promo last night on Rampage was god awful. But Callis came out with Sammy and Takeshita, basically accepted it, said it's going to be my family of Sammy, Takeshita, and Will Ospreay. And we accept. So it's a 6-man tag match at Wrestle Dream.
Yeah. I forgot about that little
I forgot
segment
Lee
there.
Moriarty. I wanted to comment on Lee Moriarty earlier in the show.
Yeah. What about him?
He looked like freaking Kerwin White. Like putting him in a golf shirt and a hat. It's like, what are you going to do to this guy? He doesn't look like a star. That's what I'm saying.
All right, so we're going to do match of the night, and we're going to do our bell rating. And I am going to start with Canada Dry.
I'm going to go with Andrade and Jay White. And I'm going to give this show 3.5 stars.
Okay. Golden Graham.
Main event was my match of the night. Danielson and why am I drawing a blank to his name?
Starks.
Stark. Yeah, I'm so tired.
It's getting late, guys. It's getting late.
It's 11:30 where I am. But yeah, and I think I'm gonna go like 3.75. Like solid match. There's no real bad wrestling on the show. So yeah.
All right. And for myself, I'm also going to go with the main event as my match of the night. You guys know I'm a huge Danielson mark. Usually his match is the highlight of the evening for me. It's usually either him or FTR. And tonight I'm going with Danielson and Starks. My bell rating, I'm going to go with 3.5 bells. This was much, much, much better than last week's show.
Yeah.
I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah.
I think this is trending back the right direction again.
Yeah.
So
Like, you just had to give Danielson a couple weeks to get his booking under his feet and to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and I forget he's like a major creative figure on Collision now, so that makes sense. Yeah. So what does that make our average?
3.58 forever.
All right.
Repeating.
That's a hell of a lot of threes, gentlemen.
Did you guys catch our show? What was our average?
3.58.
3.5.
So if you want to round it up, 3.6.
That's not bad. So did you guys catch the Kill City Cup on the All F and Wrestling show yesterday or last week?
I have not yet. I need to catch up on it.
Yeah, I checked it out.
That show is killing it right now. It's got over 230 views, I think.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
And of course, we premiered some comments from Matt Seidel, Brian Cage, and Natalia Markova, Jimmy Jacobs, and that shows really well. And we have a clip here from the Kill City Cup. Let's play that.
Let's roll it.
Welcome to the Kill City Cup.
I got the world by the balls.
By the balls.
Now, they have just reached a milestone. They've got 13,000 viewers now.
Nice.
Very good.
So
very good.
they're moving on up, and of course, you can search for them after the show. Go to Kill City Cup in the search engine, or if you're not watching this live and you're watching this afterwards, you can look in the link below, and you will see a link to Kill City Cup, and you'll be able to just boom, watch it there.
Excellent. And speaking of the All F and Wrestling show, what have you got on the docket for tomorrow, Canada Dry?
I'm super excited about this show. You just made the list too. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go, we got Dollywood on the show tomorrow. We got, of course, the F and Golden Graham. And we're going to go around and talk about all the people that we're putting on the list, the people that just in wrestling that just tick us off. Now, we're also going to include one thing from pop culture as well. So 4 wrestling related and 1 pop culture each. And we're going to go around and we're going to just put people on the list.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but your pop culture one on the first one, wasn't it anime?
No, Power Rangers.
It was Power Rangers.
Rangers, okay.
I rewatched the episode today just to refresh my memory on the concept.
So was it 4 and 1 pop culture?
Yep, 4 and 1 pop culture.
Yes, I remembered it.
Yeah, I remember that episode, but it's been quite a while.
It was 5 months ago.
5 months ago, yeah. Which
Yeah,
in the
so
podcast world seems like forever.
yeah, we've got some like podcasts coming out our asses lately, so it's hard to keep up. Like we wanted to do that a long time ago, but things come up, and you and that's the nice thing is you can always come back to it later.
We got podcasts out the ass here at
That
All
one's
Effing
true.
Wrestling.
That's a
Sounds like a T-shirt.
we got podcasts out our ass. Now, I guess we'll wrap up the show. And Golden Graham, can you hit us with the "Just Keep Fighting" speech?
Absolutely. So, as we all know, life right now can be tough for you, be it financially, spiritually, physically, however it is. But just know you are not alone in your struggles. Reach out to us, reach out to friends, especially men. Mental health matters because in this world they make it out to where you can't seek help. That is not true. So please, I guarantee you everyone in your life is better with you around. This world is not better with you 6 feet underneath it. So if you're ever feeling down, I need you. Strap on your boots, pick yourself up, and just remember to just keep fighting.
This has been an effing worldwide media production. You can find us on all social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and others. Head over to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/effing wrestling. And while you're there, click like and subscribe. Want some swag? Head to our store at prowrestlingtees.com/effing wrestling. You can find all these links and much more at our awesome website, effingwrestling.com. As the JFB always says, you can book it.
Smash that like and subscribe button. Yeah.